what are the fundamental points that we have to think about as riders in our body position in front of the fence and over the fence to give our horse the best possible chance of clearing that obstacle? So a number of things you have to think about, I think, is we don't want to get ahead of the movement. So what do I mean by that? So before the horse is even taken off with these front legs, we are already up the neck. Then all our weight's on their front end, so not only do they have to lift their front end up, they've got to lift all of our body weight up as well. So we don't want to get ahead of them before they've even left the ground. Also, if they stop by any chance, then far easier for you to fall off. So you've got to sit up, you know, sit up, don't get ahead of the movement. When the horse, at the same time, you don't want to get left behind in the movement, and you quite often see that if someone's been really far off the fence, the rider's not anticipated that the horse is going to be taken off and get left behind, and then what does that do? It means we've got hold of the horse's mouth in mid-air, and yeah, you're restricting the horse and being able to jump the fence clear, and it's not nice. It's the last thing we want. So of course we need to see a nice distance, but when you're comfortable, see your distance in front of the fence. We have to sit tall. I always think shoulders up, try and not get ahead of the movement, wait for him to come up in front, and then I just want to go forward slightly, but without overdoing it, without throwing my body up the horse's neck, you know. So basically you want to go from here to there, you know, and it's not much more than that, okay? It's more that you give with your hands, that the horse has the freedom to be able to use his head and neck and use his body to jump the fence clear. So yeah, let's put it into practice and let's have a go. And I think just, you know, as riders, we've always just got to be thinking about it, you know, for it to improve, you know. And of course, the bigger the obstacle gets, our margin for error becomes a lot smaller, so it's even more important. So we've got to practice it, got to think about it. So in front of the fence, get your nice distance and think body up. And then, you know, just always ask yourself, how did it feel? Was I in tune with the horse? Was my timing correct? Or did it just not feel nice? And then just go back, do it again, you know. We want to be in tune with our horse. And then, yeah, just always trying to think what else, how else I can help. I think it's all about your feeling, you know. You got to feel what's right. And, you know, if you get that, if you've knocked a fence down, then hopefully you've videoed your round and you can look back and think, okay, there's a number of reasons, you know, was my takeoff point good? Was I in a good rhythm? Was I straight? All those things. But what's my body position doing? What am I doing? Because quite often we don't know that we've done that fault until we actually see it. I've watched many of my own rounds and then look back and I'm like, oh God, I leaned forward way too early before he's taken off, and that's why I've knocked the fence down. That's the reason we've knocked the fence down. And you only really see it afterwards once you've filmed it and you think, that's exactly what went wrong there. So yeah, body position's so important. At the same time with your legs, you don't want your legs sort of moving if you're on a sensitive horse. Obviously they're gonna shoot off from that. There's many different things you have to think about, you know. Keep grip with your legs, but I think your number one thing is your upper body position, you know. If we go forward too soon, all of our weight's on their front end and it's very hard for them to be able to lift their own weight and our weight when the obstacle's 160. Same time, if we get left behind the movement, we're not with them, very hard for them to clear the obstacle. We're not in tune with the horse. So be aware of it. Those are the key points that I think you can think about with your body position.